Hi, and thanks for joining me and allowing me to share the wonderful practices of yoga with you. Little reminder as always to make sure that your breathing remains calm throughout the practice, both in and out through your nose. Remember that being focused on our breath is one of the most effective ways to steady or quieten the mind, and that's really the purpose of our practice. So as always, if you have questions, just pop them in the comments at the end and I'll be happy to get back to you as soon as I can. And that all being said, come into child's pose, kneeling and stretching forward. You can have the toes tucked or not, doesn't really matter. But just see if you can start to lengthen from the tailbone out through the crown of your head and into the fingers. And just make sure your hands are a good shoulder width apart. Take a couple of calm breaths there. And start to let go of any obvious unnecessary tension, especially around the shoulders, the neck and the jaw. And after breathing out once more here, make your way up into kneeling plank. So check that the hands are under the shoulders, elbows unlocked. Pause there for a moment with the crown of the head moving forward. And start to take some circular cat stretches. Just moving the rib cage around in a circle. And after your next out breath, just change direction, go back the other way. Just a nice simple movement to start freeing up the spine, to check in with how your body's moving today. And then come back to the centre. And take your left leg back either to the toe tip or raised. And then reach your right hand forward, as long as that's okay for you. Keep the left arm strong, the shoulder away from the ear. Take one more breath in here, stretching out from the fingertips to the toe tips. And after you breathe out, bring your right hand back down. Place the left foot behind the right and spin your right foot out behind you. Reach the left arm up, lengthen through to your fingertips. And as you breathe out, bring the left arm forward. Try to press down through the left foot as you reach out through the left hand. And again, just take one more breath here. And after you exhale, gently come back to kneeling plank. Pause there for a moment. And then we'll do the same on the other side. So take your right leg back, either to toe tip or parallel to the mat. Take your left arm forward. Keep the arms strong, or the arm strong. Length out to fingers and toes. And just take one more breath here, perhaps reaching out a little further. And place your left hand back down. Place your right foot behind the left and spin your left foot out behind you. As you breathe in, reach the right arm high, extending out through the fingertips. And then take the right arm forward as you breathe out. And see if you can gently press up through your right side ribs. Keep the left shoulder away from the ear. And just take one more breath here. After you exhale, gently come back into kneeling plank. And you can either choose to pause there or lift up into full plank for a couple of breaths. And after breathing out once more here, press back into downward facing dog. Just start in a symmetrical down dog, hands shoulder width, feet hip width. And give your head a little roll side to side. You can either choose to stay there or take the right hand to the left calf or ankle and take a little twist looking under your arm. Take one more breath here. If you're in the twist, just turning a little further. And after breathing out, come back to the center and swap to the second side. Use the left hand gently pulling against the leg to turn the shoulders. Keep your right arm strong and stable. Take one more calm breath here. And after you breathe out, make your way back into down face dog. And just settle there for a couple of breaths. You can bring a little spontaneous movement into the posture if you'd like.
And then settling back into a steady down dog just for 1 or 2 breaths. Lift up through the hips, press down through hands and heels. After your next out breath, raise the heels and look forward. Make your way lightly to the front of your mat. With your feet comfortably apart, let the upper body hang forward. Remember, you can bend the knees a little bit here. Make sure that you're not bringing pressure into the lower back. You might like to pedal out through the knees. You might like to sway side to side or give your head a roll side to side, or any combination of those. Take 1 more breath wherever you are. And then press your hips forward to stand.
Reach up into the fingers and lift onto the toes. Then lower your heels, lower your hands, and bring your feet together at the front of the mat. Gently breathe out all the way. And taking the arms forwards and up, take a breath in. You can stretch a little back if it feels okay. And then fold forward, hands to shins or mat, and gently breathe out. Lift your collarbones and take a smooth breath in. And with hands to the mat, step back to down face dog. Rest there or move forward into plank. And from there, smoothly lower to the stomach and exhale. Lift the chest and hands, reach out through the big toes. And as you exhale, maybe raise the feet. Taking 1 more breath in here, see if you can arch a little high. And then press back through plank or kneeling plank. Breathe out in downward facing dog. Take a breath or 2 here. Again, just make sure that your breath is long and calm. Raising your heels, look forwards and breathe in. And bring the feet to the hands, walk, step or float. From there, stand all the way up, backs of hands together. Reach up through the fingertips. And fold forward, hands to shins or mat, and calmly exhale. Lift the collarbones, take a breath in, and then step your left foot back into a long lunge and breathe out. Stand up, reach to the fingers as you breathe in, and sink deeper into the hips as you exhale. Take 1 more breath. Press down through the back foot, reach to the hands, and then take your hands to the mat and step back to down face dog. Rest or move forward into plank, perhaps on the knees, and from there lower smoothly to the stomach and breathe out. Point your toes, lift chest and hands as you breathe in, and stay there or raise the feet as you exhale. Either stay there or lift to up dog, just hands and feet on the mat, nothing else. And then press back into down face dog and breathe out there. Settle for a breath in down dog. Try to press down and back through the heels. Then gently raise the heels, look forwards and breathe in. And bring the feet to the front of the mat and exhale. Again, lift the collarbones, arching the spine. And with hands to the mat, step your right foot back into a long lunge. Stand in your lunge, reach the arms high. And sink deeper into the hips as you breathe out. Try to keep the back leg strong, press back through the heel, down through the toes, and stretch to the fingertips. Then hands to the mat, step back to down face dog, and exhale once more. Again, rest or move forward into plank. Remember, you can rest in child's pose. And lower smoothly down to the stomach and breathe out. Lift the chest and hands, reach out through the big toes, and again stay there or raise the feet without bending the knees. Stay there or with the same shape in the spine, lift to up dog as you breathe in. And then press smoothly back into down dog and exhale. Again, settle for a breath or 2 in down dog. Maybe give the head another roll side to side. Then raise your heels, look forwards and breathe in, and bring the feet to the hands, walk, step or float. Stand all the way up. Take the arms forwards and up, stretch into the fingertips. And bring the hands to the heart and exhale. Now bending your knees, come to Utkatasana, squeeze the ankles and knees together, reach up through the hands. And fold your body forward, ribs to thighs and breathe out.
Lift the collarbones forwards, take a smooth breath in. And then step back into downward facing dog and exhale. Take the right leg up and back with level hips, press the left heel down. And as you breathe out, step the right foot behind the right hand, spin the left heel down. Facing forward, come to warrior one, reach up through the fingers and sink deeper into the hips as you breathe out. Try to press to the outer left heel as you reach up to the hands. Then take the fingers to the mat and step back into downward facing dog. Rest or move forward into plank and either lower to the stomach or lower to the push-up and breathe out. Come to your up dog or just on the stomach, lift chest and hands. And if you're on the stomach, raise the feet as you exhale. Wherever you are, take one more breath, stretching a little further. Maybe stretch the throat. And then press smoothly back into down face dog and exhale there. Again, pause for a breath or two, recentering body, breath and mind. And on your next inhalation, reach the left leg high with level hips and right heel down. And then step the left foot forward behind the left hand, spin the right heel down. Stand in warrior one. Try to have the hips facing forward as best you can. Sink deeper down as you breathe out. Taking one more breath, press into the back heel, reach up to the hands. And then hands to the mat and step back to downward facing dog. Again, rest or move forward into plank. From there, smoothly lower down to knees or stomach or push up. Come to up dog or just lift chest and hands from the stomach. And pull the shoulders back, reach out through the feet, maybe raising the legs. Not in up dog, obviously. One more smooth breath in, shoulders back. And then press back smoothly into down face dog. And again, just settle for a couple of breaths in down dog. Try to lengthen from the hands to the hips and from the hips down to the heels. Take one more breath here. And gently let the shoulders move towards the toes. Then raising your heels, look forwards and breathe in. And bring the feet lightly to the hands. Stand all the way up. Take the arms up and back, stretch to the fingers. Bring the hands to the heart as you breathe out. And if you're doing stomach work, 10 abdominal exhalations, keeping the chest still. And gently opening your eyes, take your left foot back into Trikonasana, triangle posture. Keep the body in line with the feet, the legs strong. So remember, if you have to take your bum out behind you or your head forward, just bring the right hand up a bit higher. Only if you're very comfortable there, taking the right hand a little further down. Pull the front ribs gently back. And take one more smooth breath here. After breathing out, gently bend the right knee a little, take your hands down, and shortening the stance slightly, take your left foot a little to the side. Then take your right hand to the back of the hips. See if you can level them out using your right hand as a reference. And either stay left fingers down or left hand to right shin, otherwise left hand onto right foot. Start to turn to the right, coming into Parivarita Trikonasana. And if you're comfortable, reach the right arm high. Try to keep the head centered in line with the hips, not off to the side of the right foot. Use the right arm to turn the shoulders. Taking a last breath or two here. And after breathing out, gently bring the right hand down, arch the spine for a moment, and then allow the body to soften over the right leg just to your comfortable capacity. Give the head a little roll side to side. And again, just maybe take the right hand onto the hips, check that they're still level, not poking out to the side. Take one more smooth breath here. Try to press down through back heel and front toes. Then stand all the way up. Try to keep the right leg strong. Reach up high to the hands as you breathe in. Then holding your left wrist, take the hands over to the right and press down through the left heel. See if you can feel the length from the inner left ankle up through the front and outside of your hip, then through the ribs out to the hand. And take one more breath here. After breathing out, bring the body back up. Stretch up to the fingers, look up if it feels okay. And then bring left foot forward and hands in front of the heart. Take a calm breath here, relax the shoulders, jaw and face. And after breathing out, second side, step your right foot back into Trikonasana. So feet leg distance apart in line with each other. And then try and keep the rest of the body in line with the feet. Reach out through the fingers of both hands equally. So it should feel like you're reaching down into the left hand and up to the right. Keep gently turning your body to the side. Remember, you can look up if it feels okay, otherwise just looking down or to the side. Keep the breath calm. The legs strong and steady, kneecaps pulled up. And just take one more breath here. After you breathe out, just bend the left knee a little, take the hands down, and shortening the stance slightly, take your right foot a little to the side. Heels are about hip width. Then take your left hand to the back of the hips. Use your hand to check that the hips are fairly level. Then start to straighten the left leg. You can either keep the right hand on the mat, on the shin, or onto the left foot. So now we're gently turning to the left. And either stay with left hand on the hips as a reference point, or reach the left arm high. And try to keep your arms in line with the shoulders. Keep gently pulling the outer left hip back. And turn your body further to the left. Just one more smooth breath here. You can look up if the balance feels okay. And then gently bring the left hand down. Arch the spine for a moment. And then as you breathe out, let your body soften over the left leg. So in all these postures, the legs are staying fairly static, the upper body moving. Pull the shoulders back away from your ears. Again, you might like to just take the hand onto the hips, check they're still fairly level. Usually you'll need to pull a left hip back a little bit and often raise the right. Take one more smooth breath here. Let the body soften as you exhale. And then gently press down through the left foot. Stand up and reach up high to your hands. Then holding your right wrist, take your hands over to the left as you breathe out. Try to have a sense of rolling your right hip forwards. And as you lift up through the right side of the body, keep pressing out to the right hand. Just taking a last calm breath or two here. Finding that length from right heel to right hand. And then standing up, reach the arms high as you breathe in. And then step right foot forward and hands in front of the heart. Pause for a breath or two. Relax the shoulders and the face. And then gently opening your eyes, step your left foot back about 1.5 meters. Turn your feet out 45 degrees and drop down into the hips. Just for a couple of breaths, try to pause here. Lift the collarbones up, pull the knees back, and gently tuck the tailbone under. Take one more smooth breath. And after breathing out, take your fingers down to the mat, spin the heels wide. Keep lifting the collarbones forwards. So the spine's in a straight line, fairly neutral. Give the legs a little chance to relax here. Take one more calm breath. And after breathing out, just gently turn the feet out 45 degrees, then bending your left knee, sink down towards the left heel. Try to keep the right toes pointing up. You can keep your hands down, but if you're comfortable, wrap the left arm around the shin and take hold of the right wrist.
Take one more smooth breath here. A little stretch for the left ankle, plus lots of others. And then releasing your hands, move the hips the other way and do the opposite side. So now we're trying to sit down towards the right heel, keeping the left toes and knee pointing up. And again, hands down might be enough, otherwise, again, wrap your arm around the right shin. Hold there, just for one or two more breaths. So we're not sitting down, just sitting towards the right heel. And after your next out breath, just gently release your hands, come back to where you started. Then spin the heels out once more, lift the collarbones. And pull the ribs up as you breathe out. Then leaning into the hands, lift onto your tiptoes. Try to bring as much weight into the hands as you can. Take one more smooth breath. And after breathing out, gently float the feet together and sink down onto the feet. Balancing there for a couple of breaths with the heels up. Bring the hands to the heart. And if you're comfortable, lift the hips about 10 centimeters off the heels. Strong on the knees. Take one more breath here. And after you exhale, just bring the heels down and fold forward into Uttanasana, and if you can, interlace the hands behind the back. Try to squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other and find a stretch across the collarbones and in the front of the shoulders. Try to keep the weight steady on the feet, toes, heels, left and right. Take one more smooth breath here. And after breathing out, release the hands, bend your knees. Come back to Utkatasana. And drop the hips a little deeper as you breathe out. Try to press the knees forward, the heels back. And straighten all the way up. Lift onto the toes as you breathe in. Lower the heels, lower the hands as you breathe out. And then standing on your right foot, come into Vriksasana. So left foot to right calf or perhaps to right inner thigh. Bring the hands to the heart and lift the collarbones. Take one more breath in here. And after breathing out, gently release your hands and release the left foot. And swap into the second side. Right foot either to left calf or left inner thigh. There is a half lotus variation for those who have strong knees. Bring the hands to the heart. Try to lift up through the crown of your head. Pull the shoulders and the right knee back. Gently press the tailbone forward. Take one more breath. Shoulders down and back. And then lower the hands and release the right foot. Give your knees a little shake and come back to the front of your mat. Bring the backs of the hands together. Reach the arms high and stretch up into the fingers. And then fold your body forward. Hands to shins or mat and breathe out. Lift the collarbones, arch the spine as you breathe in. Then taking hands down, make your way back into downward facing dog. Stay there or move forward into plank. And from there, smoothly lower the body down, knees, stomach or push up. Take your version of up dog, whatever feels appropriate right now. And then press back into down dog and exhale there. Pause for a breath or two in down dog. And on your next exhalation, lower onto your elbows without moving the hands. Either just stay there or walk the feet in closer, and if you're comfortable, raise one or both legs. Swap the legs if you're doing one at a time. And just take one more breath wherever you are. And lower
lower down into child's pose, knees back, and just take a couple of relaxed breaths there. Try to focus just on the rhythm of the breath, making it longer and smoother. After breathing out once more here, just gently bring the body back. And tucking your toes, roll over the feet. Starting with your feet about hip width apart, roll back into the squat position, malasana. So we want the feet not turned out excessively. Let's say feet in line with the thighs is something we could perhaps use as a reference. And start to bring the body forwards between the knees. Keep a gentle mula bandha here, engaging the pelvic floor. And if you're comfortable, now overlap the thumbs and come into the raised hand squat. So we're pressing the sit bones forward towards the heels, but the arms are lifting up high. You can look up if it feels okay for the neck. Just take one more breath, maybe reaching the arms a bit high. And from there, bring the body forward once more, wrap your arms around the shins, take hold of the heels from behind and start to curl the spine into a ball. Give yourself one more breath here. And either choose to stay where you are or come into Bakasana if you'd like. Just optional. Remember, if your knees are getting sore, just sit back and hug the knees into the body. Take one more smooth breath here. And gently lowering back down. Stretch your legs out in front. Take your hands next to your hips coming into Dandasana. Just roll the shoulders gently back. Close your eyes. Try to feel the crown of the head lifting up and the tailbone sinking down. After your next out breath, keep the left leg as it is and bend your right leg out to the side. Now if your knees are sensitive, you can straighten the right leg out to the side, about 90 degrees between the thighs. Otherwise, taking the arms up, reach through to the fingers and gently start to bring the body forward into Janu Sirsasana. It's a nice idea, I think, to stop and just rock the hips, tilting the tailbone back, just helping to bring some length into the lower spine. And then hands either just resting next to the calf, or if you're comfortable, holding the ankle or the heel. With closed eyes, slow your breath down and just let your body soften here. If you're very comfortable, you can hold one wrist with the opposite hand beyond the foot. Try to keep the shoulders level with the mat. And just take a last breath or two here in Janu Sirsasana. After breathing out once more, sit back up. Reach high to the hands as you breathe in, and interlacing fingers press up through the palms as you exhale. Pull the elbows a little further back, take another breath in, reaching high. And then gently lower the hands down. And keeping your left leg as it is, pick up your right foot and take it to the outer left knee. So we're starting in a nice simple twist to the right, the modified Ardha Matsyendrasana 1. Either bring your left arm around the knee as you twist, or if it's easy, take your arm up and over the knee. Try to breathe slowly into the belly. And each time you breathe out, gently deepen your twist. Make sure both sit bones are evenly weighted. Take one more calm breath here, gently turning further as you exhale. And then turn your head to the left. Unravel the body. And bending your left leg,
Now make your way into Gomukhasana. So if Gomukhasana is a little strong for you, just come into cross-legged with the right leg in front. Otherwise, just take a couple of breaths, getting into a comfortable Gomukhasana, the knees fairly tightly stacked, and just rest your hands on the knees. Try to feel both sit bones are sinking down equally. And after your next calm out breath, stretch up into the fingers and take your right hand down by your side. Take your left arm up and over past the head. Lift up through the left side ribs. Keep the face relaxed, the shoulders relaxed. And just take a last breath or two here, lengthening all the way down the left side of the body. After breathing out, just gently sit back up, reach through to the fingers once more, and then lowering your hands down, bend the knees into the body, wrap your arms around the shins, and just rock back into your balance point, holding Brahmandasana for a couple of breaths. And after breathing out once more, either stay there or crossing the ankles. See if you can perhaps lift the hips. Take one more breath. And gently lower down. Stretch the right leg out and take your left leg out to the side. So again, you can have the left leg straight if your knees are a bit sensitive. Take a breath in, reaching the arms high. Then start to bring the body forward, pausing maybe halfway. And again, just rock side to side, tilt the tailbone and sit bones back. And then let your body just gently move forward. Remember, we want to try and keep a sense of length in the front of the body. So it should feel like your collarbones are moving forward towards your toes, not just down towards the thigh. Each time you breathe in, try to lengthen the spine, and each time you breathe out, just let the back of the leg and the back of the body relax. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. If you did first side, you might be able to take one wrist with the opposite hand beyond the foot. Doesn't matter which one you do, but just do both sides. Give yourself a last breath or two here, softening gently forward over the right leg. And after breathing out, once more sit back up, take the arms high as you breathe in, and with opposite thumb on top, press up through the palms as you breathe out. Pull the elbows gently back, lift up through the crown and the collarbones as you inhale, and then lowering your hands gently down, pick up your left foot and take it to the outside of the right knee. Now twisting to the left, bring your right arm around the leg to begin with, left hand just next to the left hip. And either stay there, or if it's really easy, take your arm up and over the knee. Make sure your left sit bone is still connected to the mat. And the spine should be fairly neutral and upright. So not side bending or back arching, just a pure twist. Use your right arm to press the leg a little further across the center line of the body, helping to stretch the outer left hip. Take one more breath here. Gently turning further as you breathe out. Then turn the head, unravel the body. Leaning a little to the right, bend the right leg and come into either Gomukhasana, left leg on top, or cross-legged left leg in front. And again, just pause there. Hands on the knees. Close your eyes. Note the difference between the two sides of the body. Usually one hip a little tighter than the other. Keep the sense of the head lifting up, the tailbone moving down. Keep the chin gently to the throat in Jalandhara Bandha. After your next calm out breath, reach the arms high, lengthening through to your fingertips. And then take your left hand down by your side and your right arm up and over past the head. So again here, try not to arch the spine. Try to keep the left hand, the left shoulder, the hips all in one plane. And then see if you can bring the right arm into that same plane as well. Lengthen all the way out through to the right fingers. You can gently press down through the left leg if you're in Gomukhasana. It'll help to anchor the right hip. After you exhale once more here, gently bring the body back up. Reach through to the fingers as you breathe in. And then lowering the hands down once more, bring your legs in towards the body. Come into Brahmandasana, cosmic egg. Find your balance point. And close your eyes. After breathing out once more, either choose to stay there or again, if you'd like, you can cross the ankles and lift the hips. Hold there for one more breath. And then gently lower the hips down and everyone coming into Pavottanasana. So wherever you are, pull your shoulders back, lift the collarbones. It's enough to stay there if you have a very sensitive lower back, but otherwise with bent or straight legs, see if you can lift the hips and make a straight line from knees to shoulders. You can either stay looking forward, which is often better for the neck, but if it feels okay, raise your face to the sky. Make sure the elbows are unlocked. Press the shoulders towards the hips. And as you take a last breath here, lift the collarbones and the tailbone. And then gently lower your body down. And make your way to lying down on your back. Just bring your knees together, the feet wide, and rest for a couple of breaths with your hands on the belly. You might like to give your hips a little shuffle side to side or the knees a little rock as well. From there, bring your feet flat, take the arms over your head. Lift the hips as you breathe in. And gently lower them down as you breathe out. So moving in and out of first bridge. Again, as you inhale, raise the hips. Make sure the hips, knees and feet are in line. Keep pressing down through the toes as well as the heels. Last time, lift the hips as you calmly breathe in. And then gently lower down as you breathe out. Now bring your hands down by your sides. Again, rest for a couple of breaths. You can perhaps drop the knees together. Often it's a bit more comfortable there. And after your next exhalation, lift the hips and take the hands to interlace behind you. Moving into second bridge, see if you can rock side to side, bring the shoulder blades closer to each other. And as you lift the hips high, bring the collarbones towards the chin. At the same time, try to move the base of the skull away from the shoulder blades so you're lengthening the back of the neck. Hold here, just for one or two more breaths. Keep the knees gently squeezing in. And releasing your hands, gently lower all the way down. And again, have a little rest. Maybe feet wide, knees together. Now bringing your feet hip width and parallel once more. Lift the hips as if you're coming into second bridge, but tuck the right foot under and bring your body into the Virasana position with the right leg. Try to resist the temptation to splay the knee out, so we're still trying to keep the right foot, knee and hip all in a straight line. Start to gently press the right knee forward and find some length in the front of the right thigh and the front of the right hip. Take one more breath here. And after you exhale, just gently release the right foot and do the same on the other side. This can be strong on the ankles at first. So you can always lift the hips higher if necessary. If it's just not accessible at all, you could just repeat second bridge. Or you could lie on your side and pull one heel to the buttock.
Again, the two sides will rarely be the same. So just work with where your body is comfortable, finding that balance between effort and ease. Take one more breath. And then gently release the left foot, and again rest gently on your back. Give the body, the hips a little rock side to side perhaps, just if that feels good for you. And then either choose to stay where you are, or if you'd like you can lift to one back arch, Urdhva the upturned bow. Start by lifting your hips as if you're going to take second bridge, then bring your hands next to the ears, about shoulder width apart. Keep pressing down through the toes and lift the hips up high. Try to find length in the front of the body, not shortening in the back. Keep the neck relaxed, the face soft, breathing gently through the nose. Just take one more breath wherever you are. And then gently lower all the way down if you're not already lying flat. If you've been taking the arch, give your wrists a little bit of a stretch. And once the wrists have had a little stretch, place one hand on each knee and just let the arms hang straight so your knees are more or less over your hips. And start to make little circles with your knees. Try to feel the sacrum rolling in circles on your mat. And now change direction and gently circle back the other way. Now bring the knees a little more tightly to the chest, just to where you feel comfortable, and start to rock from side to side, like you're rocking across the kidneys. And if you're okay to do stronger stomach work, come into a half sit-up position, raising the head and shoulders. Keep the chin to the throat. Either stay there or release the arms horizontal. And either stay there or perhaps straighten the legs out to 45 degrees. Sit up a little higher if you can. Just taking one more breath here. And then gently bring the legs back into the body. Lie back down. And either stay still or just take any simple movements that feel good for you at this point in time. So maybe rocking side to side, making circles, maybe taking an Ananda Balasana, happy baby, or maybe just staying still. After one or two more breaths, just stretch out into fingers and toes, lengthening through the whole body. And then bring your arms down by your sides, coming into Shavasana. Take a few moments just to make sure the body's completely comfortable and relaxed. You might like to give the hips a little rock side to side. And let the feet drop out to the sides, softening the inner hips, and reach down to the fingers, relaxing the shoulders. Once the body's settled, close your eyes. And take an inner focus in Ajna Chakra, the eyebrow center. Tune into the sound of your breath. And then start to take some conscious, slow, deep breaths. Not a formal rhythm, but just gently filling and emptying the lungs as much as you can. And as you breathe in and out, listen to the sound of your breath in the throat and see if you can refine the quality of breathing, making the sound more consistent and more even. Each time you breathe out, just see if there's somewhere in the body you can relax a little bit more. Often you'll find that you're unnecessarily holding tension in the feet or the arms, but especially the throat, jaw and face. Let go of everything you don't need.
one more breath there. Slow, conscious inhalation and exhalation. And then allow your breathing to settle into its own rhythm. Relinquishing effort. Just settle back into awareness. Alert but uninvolved. And just let body, breath and mind slowly move back into stillness. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvata Sharike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om. Feel free to stay as you are as long as appropriate. When you do decide to move, just gently, gradually come back from stillness to inner movement of breath and then to outer movement of body. But stay longer if you can. Don't be in a hurry to leave that quiet, still space. And see if you can remain connected to it as you go about the activities of the day. Thank you as always for sharing with me and allowing me to share with you. I'll see you next time. Namaste.